All right, so chorus. Let's have a look at chorus. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to do is just play you a simple little noodling guitar, and I'm going to apply a bit of chorus to it. So now I'll apply it, he says. Let's add it all. Now, keeping it moving, slowing. So you can hear what it's actually doing is modulating the pitch of that guitar up and down below its actual real tuning. Okay? And that's essentially what happens when a bunch of people try and sing the same note together. We don't always hold the note consistently all the time. Yeah? So what happens when you get a group of people together is that their pitches are all modulating. Okay? And that's what chorus effect does. It emulates that idea that there's more than one there, or that the pitch is modulating within the sound itself, which can provide differing effects. So in a subtle way, or in a very odd way, there's like a quick chorus, do you know what I mean? And there's a wider chorus. Now, on a guitar, like a pop acoustic guitar, that sort of heavy chorus effect is quite sort of, it's kind of identifiable, isn't it? In certain tunes, you really hear people use it. Now, people have asked me, what the hell is D mode? What on earth does that mean? Well, that's why I got this funny picture up. Because this is a piece of hardware, possibly the easiest piece of hardware to operate in a recording studio. You can't get better than this. Okay? These are 4 different types of ensemble and chorus. And ensemble is the next plugin I'm going to show you, which is very related to chorus. So essentially all you do is press the right button, and then you get the sound of the dimension D. So essentially all that button is doing is trying to emulate the sound of that machine. So it had a particular filter on the chorus, which made the chorus sound rich. So just does something a little bit different to the sound, and it's just trying to emulate that machine essentially. Okay, now on vocals it's very common, okay, because obviously sometimes you want to thicken vocals up. So there we go. Here, have a bit of Devon background and add a chorus to it. Without. With. Now, it's entirely up to you how fast you want it to move, which I wouldn't do necessarily. But if you're trying to make shit from outer space, you can imagine what kind of malarkeys you can get up to with a chorus. It's a simple thing, but it can create really odd sounding wobbles. So, and odd wobbles are good, right? We like odd wobbles. This vocal on its own. See, thanks. Certain vocals will really work with this kind of sound, certain vocals won't. Do you know what I mean? It really depends on the style and the genre, really. So let's look at ensemble, because it's a really similar idea. Now, one of the things to be careful with these kind of effects is putting them on sounds with lots of low end on them, okay? Because when you start modulating the pitch of the low end, you start to get muffly responses quite quickly. And one thing that's really important is the lower you go, the purer the sound needs to be in a way, okay? So there are ways around it. Let's say, just for argument's sake, because I'm going to put it on a bass as well, this effect, I try and find a nice... Oh, perfect. Couldn't have asked for better. Actually sounds like it's got a bit of chorus on it already. So I'm going to just add more chorus. You can hear it, can't you? Now, as I said, sometimes with these types of effects, it puts too much muffly some of the low end. Now, have a look at this. This is an ensemble. This is like a fancy chorus, okay? It's a fancy chorus because instead of one LFO, you've got 3 LFOs that can all move at different speeds and have differing depths of pitch change, yeah? So you're actually seeing a visual understanding of what the chorus was doing, but now you've got 3 of them, yeah? And they can thicken things up, and you can have up to, make it feel like, look what's happened to the waveform. Look, woo, look, 8 of them. So it's making all of those modulations happen copied, but at very slightly different times from each other in order to thicken things up. So with bass, okay, if I take it off, let's put it back on. So it's thickening up again. Let's put an ensemble on this background one over here, because this one you'll probably really hear it change. Let's take the chorus off. Oh, that one definitely. Right, so a bit more. Now let's make it really mad. Now you're really hearing that movement. Do you see what I mean? So if I sped that really up, I go exactly so. Do you see what I mean? So I'm actually deliberately creating vibrato by using that. Is that cool? Everyone kind of get to grips with the fact this is just a more complicated chorus with 3 sections. Now, let's say that I was having problems with the fluffiness of my low bass. It's something that happens, you know. So what one would do under this circumstance is one would, I don't know why I've gone into third person, but anyway, one would move one's ensemble onto one's buses and place one's ensemble on a bus. And then very importantly, one would only and always on a bus have that at 100%, because you are already providing the dry signal with this level. And what you're adding is the wet level of this effect. So what you don't want to do is start adding dry level when you push this knob, because it's already here. Is that clear? And this is true for anything you're sending to, pretty much, yeah? There are maybe 1 or 2 slight exceptions. Now, one thing just to be aware of, when you go in and you're sending something to a bus to then use as an effect, he says coming back and getting rid of this, this is what's important to remember. At the moment, this is on a version called post-pan. It could be on post-pan or post-fader. Ooh, hello. Okay. And what that does is it says, okay, it goes fader, pan, send, out. So when I push the level down, oh, hi, hang on. Now, when I push this level down, listen, it all disappears, okay? However, if I have this on pre-fader and I press play, listen to what happens. I just hear the effect. Do you see what I'm saying? And I can send an amount to an effect and have this down at 0. Now, that's really handy, because sometimes you want a sound, like, especially like, let's say we've got a reverb on something. We want to make it sound like it's really far away, and then we want to feel like it gets closer to us. What we would do is have the sound just going to the reverb. And then, as we wanted to get closer, we'd add more dry level, and it would feel like the sound is approaching us. Yes. Yeah, you just push that up through automation. Absolutely. But this is why you can go into pre-fader or post-fader.